Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
2020 from Draft Day Sports. Back with the Louisville Cardinals on the path to the Final Four. And guys, if you watched the last stream, you know we didn't have the best recruiting season. Had a lot of guys commit elsewhere. I mean, we landed some pretty talented guards, so we'll be in good shape next year. Here's a quick look at our recruiting class. We got the number 4 and number 10 overall players, so 2 of the top 10, both of them guards, should be set at that position for next year. But you know, as always, when you have a team that's this talented, it comes down to like who comes back, who doesn't. So you never know from year to year. I had 6 scholarships coming into this year. I landed some guards. I don't have anything else as of right now, so we're certainly at risk at a lot of positions to lose a whole lot. So what I did, I went ahead off camera to save you guys the trouble of having to see it, and I went through all of our camp reports, looked at the top 5 players from every single camp in the Indy Elite, East Coast Jam, Georgia Superstar, and all the regional camps. Any of the top 5 players who were still uncommitted, I added to our list. I removed everyone who had not committed from our list, and this is now currently our recruiting list. If you take a look here, we've got 6 players that we were able to add. We couldn't find a center. We could still use another big man, though, so I added a couple of power forwards. You can see I have offered 3 of these players, and that was just purely because I don't see a huge difference between guys at this level, so I looked at stats and size and that sort of thing. I like the scoring out of Bobby Howard a little bit over Quentin Smith. I don't know, maybe Quentin Smith having a little bit of interest would have made more of a difference, but the overall evaluation was higher on Howard. He's a little taller, a little bigger. I went for that. Henderson, to me, was pretty clear over Greenleaf with that scoring differential, and again with the higher evaluation. And then Clifford Barron, he's in the Southeast. I like McDermott's rebounding numbers better, but I did go for Clifford Barron solely because he was in the Southeast region along with me and Louisville. So we do still have the 1 scholarship to give. I think that's just going to be a holdover for next year. So we will see how these come in. I have offered visits. I believe only Barron accepted. So we'll just see how this recruiting plays out. I think we'll be fine next year either way. But guys, let's get through this season tonight and see what happens. If we can navigate, let me jump back over and take a look at the dashboard for anybody who, what up, Beach Bear? Let me jump over and take a look at the dashboard for anybody who doesn't remember exactly where our roster sits as of right this moment. Ooh, we can also take a look at the inbox. Maybe some of these guys visited. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby Howard, appreciated. Okay. Not much there. Dashboard. So, Lamont Mapp and Joey Shannon are going to be pulling it down at the guard positions. I think I've got Joey Shannon running the point maybe. But either way, those are our 2 starting guards. And then I believe Johnny Rowe. We've got a couple of guys chipping in. Our starters are playing heavy minutes, guys. I believe, if I remember correctly, we've got one of these small forwards dropping down to help out at the guard position because we are stacked at the 3. Look at the talent. We got 2 5-stars and a 4-star all at one position. So we're trying to spread that out a little bit. And then on the inside, John Carter, obviously our most talented freshman. Chris Marshall, talented freshman center. Hopefully he'll be back around. But we've got a stacked schedule. We've got, I think, a good team. But I really don't have any good feeling for it right now. Yeah, Proby, we're going to be winning that championship, baby. I want to make a Final Four run. Let's take a quick look here at what we've done since we got to Louisville, and then we're going to jump right on into these games. Let's take a look at our season recaps. So, 22-16 CBI tournament champions. I don't barely remember winning the CBI. And then a couple of Elite Eights. We were actually ranked number 3 last year. Couldn't pull it off. Couldn't get to the Final Four. So back-to-back flameouts in the round of 8. Let's see if we can push on to that Final Four this year and maybe hang the only banner that actually counts when it comes to college basketball. So, should be exciting. We're preseason number 2. Not that the preseason means a ton, but I'd rather be ranked highly in the preseason than not be. Let's get this started off right. We are. It makes it look like we're at a home game, but this is one of these preseason tournaments. I don't know which one this is, but we're playing Winthrop on a neutral court here, and we take care of business by 19. Joey Shannon led the way, didn't catch the other 2 players. Gonna do a low school third assistant. Doing the low school kind of like I did in this save is always very interesting to me. Starting off as one of the other assistants never totally appealed to me. But if you're down for it, man, go from started at the bottom all the way to the top. Do your thing, you know what I mean? So here we got the Belmont Bruins. Both of us started off 1-0 in this tournament. Let's see who's moving on. I don't know if this is a 2 or 3 game tournament, so this could be a championship or this could be a semifinal. I'm not for certain. Either way, we're taking it home. Chris Wright, Joey Shannon, the upperclassmen leading the way. That's what I really do like about this team is Chris Wright and Joey Shannon, a senior and a junior, playing a ton of time. Let's jump over and take a look real quick at our depth chart because our power forward may be relatively experienced as well. Oh, okay, hold on. So we're actually starting Brett Porter at the 3. We move Chris Wright over to the 4, and then John Carter, the freshman power forward, to the 5. Now we are letting Chris Marshall, the freshman, back up some at the 5, but for the most part, it's Jason Alexander. He is a senior, so we do have some senior leadership coming off the bench there. And then we've got D'Antonio White backing up at both the 2 and the 3. So we may be able to give him maybe even a little bit more here as the season progresses. Once we get into tournament time, maybe we get Perry, we relieve him of these 4 minutes at the shooting guard and get it up here onto D'Antonio White, rather. I kind of like that idea. But Lamont Mapp, we got a couple of really talented freshmen in here, and then we've got some upperclassmen. So it's a decent mix. I like it. What's up, Agalia? Glad to see you, buddy. Yeah, I couldn't stream last week. My wife was out of town last weekend, so we had to do some preparing and then spend some time together. And then over the weekend I was watching the kids, so had to take a little bit away. Now this has got to be the championship game of this preseason tournament. The Cardinal and the Cardinals. Who's taking home the nickname? Who is gonna leave whatever this preseason tournament is? Who's leaving undefeated? Louisville, baby. Louisville. Oh, not even a game. Get out, Stanford. You don't belong on our court. No. Get out of here. Look at that. 90-61. Woo, we might be for real this season, boys and girls. We may be for real. Look at Joey Shannon. 31 points. 9 of 12. 5 of 6 behind the arc. He was getting to the line. As was Brett Porter. As was Chris Wright. Wow. Took care of the ball pretty well. Chris Wright did get in a little bit of foul trouble late. I mean, he still got his 27 minutes, so I assume it was late. Look at our starters. Every one of them at least plus 23. So you can really see we're really top heavy. And then we do have in Alexander and White and Marshall for that matter. We got a very solid starters, and then we're going an extremely solid 8 deep for me. Extremely solid 8 players. If we can stay healthy, this team very well has a shot. What's up, Breeze? Glad to have you, buddy. This team very well has a shot at the Final Four if we can stay healthy. But that's a huge if because we only have 8, and I don't think we go one single player deeper than that. We are playing 9 or 10 right now, but like I said, we're going to shorten that bench when we get to tournament time. Oh, we got another game in this tournament, really. So Seton Hall, also undefeated, and being that it's still early, we're still in November, any undefeated team is scary. Seton Hall could be very good. You know how the rankings can be wonky in the early season. So the Pirates and the Cardinals, oh no, the Cardinals take it. Brett Porter, Chris Wright. So our small forward brigade here really brought it home. And then Lamont Mapp, the freshman, was 17. So we're doing work. We're doing work. We knocked a couple of teams off the ranks of the undefeated fairly early. We move up to the number 1 rated team in the nation. Agalia, the only way I'm winning a championship is if I leave. 2 years after I leave a program, they always win the championship. Tulane won it. Auburn won it. I've not won it with my school yet, but I've only been at Louisville for 3 years. Yeah, Alice Cherry, was that last year or the year before? Alice Cherry broke my heart when he broke his arm and really hurt our chances at a deep run. So, I mean, we did still make the Elite Eight without him, but we really didn't have the guard. We didn't have the playmaking without him. We didn't have somebody to take care of the ball. So, yeah, I'm still waiting, man. I'm going to quit the NCBA here soon, and then within 2 seasons, Louisville's going to win the championship. I just know it. So here we go. Little Sparty coming into town. So this is just Murderer's Row here in the non-conference. I know we set up some tough games last stream, and then I did not know how tough that preseason tournament was going to be, but we are really getting tested here in the non-conference part of our schedule. The good news is we are at home, so let's see if we can stay undefeated here against Sparty. Oh my God! Oh, that's 2 teams in the top 10 that we just punked by 30, 20 or 30. I'm not trying to do math tonight. The only math I want to do tonight is Final Four -3 is one Louisville Cardinals team standing tall in the national championship game. That's all I want to do. But for now, we're undefeated, 5-0. Couple of big-time wins over top 10 teams under the belt. Let's see what we got here. All right, nothing too big. Was at Michigan State High School. I think that might have been Michigan State Polytechnic Regional JV squad. But yeah, they only scored 38 against us, so we locked them down. Really put it on them there in the Yum Center, and we move on to 5-0. Now we're going to play the Kent State Golden Flash. It's going to be hard to follow up what we just did against Michigan State, even against a team that's 0-2 at our place. I don't know. You don't usually hold college teams to 38, so we still got a nice win. Shannon Carter and missed the third one there. All of a sudden, I guess my Gmail decided to blow up. So I'm getting notifications nonstop over here. But I do know, I just saw a tweet from Wolverine Studios that they're going to be announcing their WSBA League owners shortly. So keeping an eye on things to see if there's any word on that front. Would very much like to be involved in that. But we'll see. So moving on, we're 6-0. We ought to have big games coming hard and heavy here in the non-conference schedule. I know we set it up to be really exciting to watch, hopefully. As long as we keep blowing teams out by 20. I know I'll be excited to watch it. I don't know how everybody on the other end of this is going to feel about it, but I'm pretty excited. What league is that? It's the Wolverine Studios is doing their own, they're hosting their own Pro Basketball 21 league. So it will be hosted by the developers, I suppose. I don't know. Most of the details, if you follow Wolverine Studios, either on Twitter, you can go to wolverinestudios.com, whatever their homepage is, and the WSPA has its own information page, so you can click on it there and read about it. If you're on the GM Games Discord, you can jump down into the Draft Day Sports channel and read a little bit about it. We've had some conversations there ongoing. But it's really going to be interesting because it's going to be really a GM-only league, so, drafting, trading, that sort of thing, not so much coaching. But the real focus of it is actually going to be on the creative content. They're looking for people to stream, do podcasts, write blogs, get on, watch Twitch streams, all that sort of thing. So it's really going to be focused on that. So it's going to be really interesting to watch. I think it's going to make it extremely immersive. So we'll keep an eye on it. Now, here we go. Continuing our just We're blitzing the top 10 here. We've got another one. Thankfully, it is at home. But the Oregon Ducks, number 9 in the country. Can we stay undefeated? Can we blow out another top 10 team? Excuse me. We did at least win by 11. Now, that was a home game, so 11 points, to be quite honest, at home. That's probably a fairly even matchup if we have to see them again in March. Probably a fairly even matchup. But we remain undefeated. That's the key. We're still number 1. We're 7-0. That gives us 3, maybe 4 wins over top 10 teams now. I mean, we're cruising. So it's looking good. Now we just got to survive through December. We always have a big game against Kentucky. Gailey, I think Louisville, Kentucky play next in the NCBA, so we ought to be able to see some results of that. Probably around the time that this stream wraps up, we ought to probably have an NCBA update. So we can see who wins that. Spoiler alert, it's probably you. My Louisville team is hurting right now in the NCBA, in the offline league. Oh, you know, I haven't had any bugs yet with Pro Basketball 21. I think I've played through about 3 seasons. I've really enjoyed it so far. Is it tomorrow sim? Yeah, I saw that we're going to sim tonight, but all I know is I got the scouting report for Kentucky, so if it's not tonight, it'll be next time. Illinois and Louisville, yet another ranked team. They're only 4-3, having a rough season, having trouble winning on the road. Hopefully we take care of business here, and we do by 14. Joey Shannon, Chris Wright, John Carter. No surprises there, and we're continuing to cruise. Continuing to cruise. Let's see how this goes. Usually they're pretty quick about the bugs, Breeze, but I don't know. I suppose on how complex it is, you know, how much trouble it is to figure out. Yeah, I've had a handful of issues over the years, but I want to say that all of them have been patched within a day or two and fixed. Or the only one that wasn't patched was when it was a Windows 10 compatibility issue, but I just started running them in administrator mode, and I haven't had an issue since then. How many of your players come out of the game injured? With any luck, all of your starters. You know, in real life, I'd hate to see players get injured. In a sim where they're just like digital creations, I hope we come in there and go hard on your guys and, you know, full-on bad boy style, roughing them up in the paint, and just see what happens. You know, Kentucky losing is just as good as Louisville winning as far as I'm concerned in the NCBA. Another top 25 matchup, the UCLA Bruins and the Louisville Cardinals. Another win for Louisville. Joey Shannon, Chris Wright. Didn't catch the third one. Joey Shannon's having a really solid year for us. I'm going to get on through December, and then we'll take our normal mid-season stat break, see how everybody's performing, see if there's any adjustments we need to make. I don't want to shorten that bench just yet. You never know. Somebody gets hurt. Maybe the extra playing time, the extra development helps one of these backups. Yeah, I haven't had any bugs or anything with the pro basketball game, Breeze, so I wish I could help you there, but I can't. But I also know I'm not running any kind of mods whatsoever. I'm just playing their straight vanilla game with the teams as they come, with the players as they come, and trying to get immersed in a little bit something different. So the Cougars, I've actually played quite a few seasons as the head coach of Washington State. Let me tell you, they are terrible. Their prestige is awful. They get the crap beat out of them on recruiting by Washington, Oregon, Gonzaga, UCLA, Cal. I mean, they're just miserable. So hopefully this is a win. 30 points, Carter, Shannon, and Mapp. So we keep it rolling. That's 10-0, baby. 10-0 for the Louisville Cardinals in your 2042 season. Good God, we've been at it for a while. It is high time, if you ask me, high time for a national championship on this GM game stream. Let's see if we can make it happen tonight. Who knows? We might be about 45 minutes away from hanging a banner. It could be happening right here, right now, tonight. We just got to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. And I think we can do it. I really do. Okay, just some scouting reports. Let's get through December before we stop to look at stats. I keep on wanting to go to look at stats, see how everyone's performing, but I want to make sure we have a good enough sample size. I really think I need a second monitor, so I don't always have to do this move to see if anybody's chatting. I need a second monitor up here so I can just quick twitch of the eye or something. So this is actually our first pretty big test because we are going to be on the road here against a top team, and Kentucky looks pretty good. It looks like they've only lost one game so far this year. 6-1, so they're definitely off to a good start. And we got to go into Rupp, which is never a good place to play. You're always going 7-on-5. So a win here would really be big. A loss would be just nothing. I mean, we shouldn't get blown out, but a win here would be gravy. 11-point loss, not surprising at all. So we fall to the Kentucky Wildcats, but I would love to see them again on a neutral court. Absolutely. Yeah, monitors are cheap, and I could get it fairly easily. I've got the dual hookups on my video card. It's just a matter of me getting off my lazy butt and doing it. I've been promising my kid, ever since I built this PC. I think I built this PC in June. Ever since I built it, I've been telling my kid I was going to get him another monitor so that he could have my old PC, which is still, it's 10 years old, but it was still pushing these games up until I bought this. So it can do some work. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I kept saying Christmas, but now my wife bought a million things for Christmas. So I don't know if we need anything else for Christmas, really. Maybe next Christmas or something. We'll see. All right, so we couldn't get into the new year undefeated. We're sitting at 10-1 on December 18th. Let's see if we got a game coming up. Oh, the Zags. Always a tough opponent. Got that huge recruiting base out west. They really pulling the players. Going through the players in those camps that I was talking about earlier, Gonzaga pulled in a very good class for next year. I expect they're consistently pulling in good classes. So let's see if we can pull it out at home. Nice little 10-point win. Wright, Shannon, and Mapp. Should be just a couple of scouting reports. We did get our letters of intent on our 2 signees, but we haven't had any word yet from our 3 other offers. It is about time to bounce over and see if we're generating any interest there. Let's do all of that. Ooh, Billy Guy. Tired of the way I've been disrespecting him in front of the team. Who is Billy Guy? Never even heard of him. Some walk-on moron. I don't care what you say, dude. It doesn't matter to me what you think at all. God, look at Joey Shannon, Porter, Wright. Look at the player impacts. Those 3 guys. That's more than 50%. More than 50% out of our wings. Our wings are carrying this team. Crazy. So you can see Lamont Mapp, I mean, he's having an impact, I guess. John Carter's doing well, but these 3, and especially Joey Shannon, goodness gracious. It's nice to see. I wish Well, the good thing is, out of those three guys, one's a senior, one's a junior, and then one's just an unbelievable freshman. And Lamont Mapp, to be fair, is also an unbelievable freshman, but he's being asked to play out of position, whereas Brett Porter is able to play his natural position. If you're playing a true freshman out of position, that's a big ask. And just to be contributing on the number one team in the nation, blowing out top 10 teams by 20 and 30 points, I'm perfectly happy with what he's done to this point. But let's get another week simmed here. Galia's always got something to say. That's all right, man. That's all right. But yeah, let's get another week here and see exactly what these stats look like, how everyone's doing, and then we can get a real feel for what we think about our players and whether we need to make any changes or not. I mean, things seem to certainly be going well. I've got the changes that I plan to make at the end of the year, but we'll see. You never know. They might become unnecessary. Nice little 25-point conference opening win. Home game against a pretty mediocre Georgia Tech team. So that puts us at 1-0 in the conference. Getting close to the end of 2042 here. Going to be ringing in the 2043 new year. What is this, like 25 seasons now? We've streamed quite a bit of this save. And like almost every second of it. I think me sorting through that recruiting list earlier tonight was actually the first time I'd ever done anything offline. Other than that, you guys have basically seen every second of everything for 25 simulated seasons here on the GM Games Twitch stream. Now we got to go on the road to Boston College. The Cardinals and the Eagles have a little bit of a battle of the birds here. They're 2-8, 0-1 in the ACC, so we put it on them. Walked into their house and beat them by 31. Ooh, send those fans home early. They don't need to stick around. No, gridlock in the parking lot trying to get out. You guys can start making your way to the exits with about 16 minutes left in the game. We just blew you out by 31, so taking care of business on the road there. That's a bad team, but that's what you have to do. Once you're a good team, especially if you think you might be an elite team, you've got to beat terrible teams badly on the road. You got to go do that, and we did. So really just reinforcing the fact that this could very well turn out to be a special team. This is absolutely a team that, barring injury, should at least make another Elite Eight appearance and fight for a Final Four. Cyberpunk 2077. It's one of those things I keep seeing pop up everywhere. You'll have to let me know how it is. Actually, just tell me it's terrible. Regardless of how good it is, tell me that it's terrible. Because I don't need to spend any more money on games. I really don't. So hopefully it's just awful. Actually, we're here on January 4th. So before I simulate that game, it is time to go and check out what our team's actually doing, who's performing. So we can see Lamont Mapp getting 30 minutes a game at the point, playing a little bit out of position, shooting a good percentage. Not great from three, but good enough. Real good free throws. His assist to turnover for a freshman playing out of position, that's great in my opinion. He's scoring about 11.5 a game, so he's doing well. Shannon is scoring close to 19 a game. Now his assist to turnover ratio leaves something to be desired, but there is a reason. Regardless, 19 points a game, we'll take it. He's shooting 46% from three, over 50% from the floor overall. Looking good there for Joey Shannon. Chris Wright, the senior, also at about 11.5 a game. He's pulling in 8 rebounds a game. It's looking really good there. He needs to lay off the threes. He sucks at that. Brett Porter, the freshman, another guy in the double digits every game. He's also hitting the rebounding. And then John Carter. So Jason Alexander off the bench doing a little bit. Chris Marshall's just not getting enough time to make big-time contributions. D'Antonio White only getting about 11 minutes a game. I wonder if he's happy with that. Okay, he wants to play, but nothing crazy, so seems all right there. So they're both starting. Brian Shelton. All right, so it seems like we can pop over to the dashboard, but it looks like I'm happy with our starters. D'Antonio White and Jason Alexander are really getting a lot of time. And now Johnny Rowe is also getting a decent amount of time, but he's not producing at all. And if you'll recall, that's who I was talking about phasing out and giving that time to D'Antonio White. So we are going to go ahead and do that right now. It was an idea I had at the beginning of the season. After looking at the stats, it only reinforces the fact that that is something that needs to happen sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So let's just move Joey Shannon's rest in the first quarter to there. And to there. And just like that, we've got Perry on the bench. We've added an extra 4 minutes a game for D'Antonio White to get in there and mix it up. So I think that's gonna work out. Now, here's another question: what we're gonna do is also pull Rowe out as much as possible. So we're going to let Joey Shannon run the point here. D'Antonio White will be the shooting guard. And then Mapp can come back in here, and that gets some minutes off of Rowe. He can pull up the end of the half there. That's fine. And then I guess we do need somebody at some point to play. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'd rather him play less if we could find a way to make it happen, but let's do that for now. All right, so now, there was one other thing we wanted to do. We wanted to check the dashboard and see if everybody was happy with their playing time. Oh, look at the green smiley faces now. So people used to get on me because this looked like some kind of candy cane, all green and red and yellow and just all mixed up. Now we are looking very, very happy. So we got great morale. We got our bench shortened. Let's go out there and beat these Dukies, and we get them by 26. The usual suspects getting it done. Joey Shannon leading the way. Hopefully Joey Shannon, I mean, the way he's playing, he's got to be knocking on the door of first-team All-ACC, right? I mean, we've got a handful of guys that could be freshmen of the year, way up there. Okay, now I get interrupted because now we're going on the road again, and this time it's against a top 10 Florida State team. So let's see what we've got for the Seminoles. Number 1 headed into number 8. They're 12-2. The Cardinals 14-1 at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center here in January 2043. Let's see what we got. The Cardinals and the Seminoles. Oh, what a ball game. What a ball game. And you can see right away D'Antonio White sneaking into the top performers. So I think those extra minutes are going to pay off as we go through this season. But we did fall. The Seminoles got us at their place. They're a top 10 team. It's to be expected. We're fine. We played well. We're just trying to stay healthy and get to that postseason. If we can stay healthy and get to the postseason, we're good to go. Let's check out the emails. We need to keep an eye on whether we get any of these other commitments. Looks like we haven't gotten any of them, but we haven't lost any of them either. So I need to try to remember that as we get to around the conference tournament. I believe that's when we have our next round of in-home coaching visits. So another league game, the Miami Hurricanes coming into the Yum Center to take on the Cardinals. Little ACC matchup here, big Monday. And the Cardinals do what they do, 84-59, a 25-point win at home over the Miami Hurricanes. This game needs background music. The first couple of streams I did, my audio quality was really poor, and Chris actually dubbed some music over the background of it. So I usually don't. Even if I was just playing a single player save, I usually don't need any music or anything like that to keep me going. But for the most part, I have some kind of streamer beverage to keep me going. So that probably takes place of the background music for me. All right. Moving on. We're getting to the middle of January. We've started off pretty strong in the ACC. The selection show music does blare out of nowhere. I do have the audio output turned down a little bit, so I know it used to like blow people's eardrums when it would come on. It should be better now. But I'll tell you, playing the pro basketball and the pro football, like getting into March Madness, it's a really cool cutscene, whatever you want to call it. It's very interesting, but man, when they have those draft cutscenes and they start playing that music, I get goosebumps every time. I don't know what it is, but I get so pumped for those drafts. I think it just like brings it. Sometimes, especially even in the pro games, you're playing as the LA team, and they should be the Lakers, and they're called something else, and you don't have LeBron and Anthony Davis and all that. But when you get to the draft, like you start seeing these names, and unless you follow college basketball very closely, like it's a lot of unknowns. So it's very similar to me sitting down and watching the draft. Even as much as I watch college basketball, I mostly just watch Louisville and some other ACC games. Some of these guys that are high-ranked NBA talents, like the guy that was Anthony Edwards, got taken out of like Georgia last year. I had no idea who he even was until draft night. So to me, going into these fictional drafts is very similar because it's a total unknown. What's up, Lord Clamel? Glad to have you in here, buddy. Good evening to you. The Cavaliers, 9-7 on the season, 2-3 in the ACC, going to come take on the Louisville Cardinals, who have now dropped to number 2 in the country. But we get it done there against Virginia. So 16-2, 5-1 in the ACC. So it does have background music? Is it just, like, is it in the settings then? How do you have background music? Or are you just talking about... Proby's going to fire me because I dropped a number 2. Uh-oh. I think we'll be all right. We lost a couple of tough games on the road to top 10 teams. If that's all you lose throughout the year, you're doing good. But something tells me, as we get into this conference play, we are going to drop 1, maybe even 2 just total head scratchers. And it could come here at North Carolina. I don't think it will. North Carolina seems to be a pretty mediocre team. They're 6-10 on the year, 2-5 in conference. We should be able to win on the road here, and we do pretty handily, about 18 points there. Let me take a quick look at the box score, see who's showing up big on the road. Chris Wright, Lamont Mapp, and Joey Shannon. Look at Brett Porter and Chris Wright, both going for double-digit rebounds. Chris Wright actually goes for a double-double. John Carter had a relatively pedestrian game. Although Jason Alexander, I wonder if Carter was like in first half foul trouble or something, because Alexander seems to have gotten more minutes, and he did pretty well production-wise. I mean, he was flirting with a double-double. So we'll keep on pushing through. We're almost done with January, which means we're getting into February and then into the postseason. Guys, it's 19 games into the 2042-2043 season. We are closing in on that postseason, and from where I'm sitting, there is absolutely nothing that I've seen to this point that suggests that this team is anything other than a Final Four contender and a legitimate threat to hang a banner. So stay tuned. I would say the stream overall probably has 30-40 minutes left, but I think we'll get to the championship game within about 20. So let's see what's up. In the actual NCAA, in real life, the Louisville Cardinals are doing all right. They lost some upperclassmen, and then some of the experienced players that they brought back are now injured, so they're extremely young. They tried to do like a bubble thing in Louisville where they quarantined all the players at the Galt House, which is a fairly popular hotel down there. But, regardless of all the precautions they took, there was still a COVID outbreak. They had to cancel it early. So most of their recent games have been canceled. They're having a 2020 kind of year. I don't know how else to put it. I don't put too much stock into any sports that are going on right now. Every team's missing players, missing games, missing practices. Nothing's as it should be. So, as long as everybody stays as healthy as they can, I think that's about all you can ask right now. And if you get a couple of sports games here and there that you can watch, that's a cherry on top of the sundae, right? So for now, I'm diving 100% into these Wolverine Studios, draft day sports, college basketball, pro football, whatever it is. These games, I still feel like they flow. Yeah, sports is wrecked this year. Yeah, Proby, if I make the championship game, I will coach it out. I did the same thing. If you didn't catch it, I did a pro football stream about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Got my Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl, to the championship game, and we did stream that, and I did fall short. But if we make the championship game, yeah, I'm going to coach it out. That's for sure. So the Demon Deacons coming into the Yum Center, 13 points, a little bit closer than we would like to see. But a win's a win. We get out of there healthy. We move on to 7-1 in conference, 18-2 overall. So we'll take that. Probably not our best effort. Now we got to go on the road to an 11-6 Clemson team, 5-3 in conference. This team looks like they might be a legitimate threat to pull an upset here. They're not ranked, but they're having a good season. They're at home. So we need to go down there and play a good game. Hopefully we got our clunker out against Wake Forest there, and we can go down to Clemson and play some ball. And we do. We take about 18. And Joey Shannon doing his thing with 17 points, adds in 5 rebounds, and we notch another win. So at this point, we are hurtling towards the postseason. And we're just picking up momentum. Now we get North Carolina. We already beat them in the Dean Dome. Now we're going to get them in the Yum Center, and we ought to do them even dirtier than we did last time, if you ask me. Oh, yeah, almost 30 points. Wright, Carter, and Mapp. Woo! Feeling good. Man, I'm really excited also. On top of everything else that we have to look forward to, on top of the in-home visits that we have to look forward to, because we've got a lot of top 5 campers still that we're recruiting that could still add to this recruiting class. We've got a Final Four team, I think. Beyond all of that, we got to see who does and does not declare for the professional draft, which is going to be quite interesting. And we got the Norton. And look at this, we got 3 quarterfinalists for the Norton Award. Brett Porter, the freshman, Joey Shannon, the senior, Chris Wright, the senior. So let's take a look here. Joe Claxton, the one that got away. Some loser that went to Kentucky. So Chris Wright, our top player, clocking in at number 11. Joey Shannon close behind at 14. And Brett Porter way on back at 27. So he's probably not a real threat to win. Chris Wright and Joey Shannon, a couple more good games, and either of them could pop up into that top 10. So we've got to keep an eye on a lot of things coming down the stretch here this season. But still, number one is our health. We got, I think, 8 games left in this ACC conference season, and we just need to stay healthy. Yeah, absolutely. We are at the point where the only target is Final Fours. Anything less than Final Fours is disappointments. Take a look. I showed the recruiting class. If you guys didn't see it, let me bounce over real quick. You take a look at the recruiting class that I'm bringing in. The thing I was going to say is, even if we lose most everything off of this team, just with the recruiting class we're bringing in 2 of the top 10 players in the country, and that should be a recipe to make a run at a Final Four. As you see here, we're bringing in Osei Hosty, the number 1 shooting guard, number 4 overall, as well as Steve Bond, the number 2 point guard, number 10 overall. So just that backcourt, that should be a recipe for a run at a Final Four. So if we keep 2, maybe 3 of the guys that are serious contributors to this team, then, that's we're at the point where we're just reloading. And that's where we need to stay. Nothing but the Final Four should be celebrated at this point. I don't want to say you have to make the Final Four every season. Sweet 16, maybe in a down year. Elite 8, okay. But, the Final Four and the National Championship is ultimately the goal for sure. But the way we're playing this year, we are back up to number 1 there, Proby, so I don't have to be fired just yet. We're back to number 1. Now we're headed into the Edmund P. Joyce Center up here to fight the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in South Bend. Woo! Oh, son of a gun. So we got the huge top 10 win on the road. But Joey Shannon got injured. And that, my friends, is our absolute most important player, bar none. So let's hope that this is like dehydration or like a muscle sprain or something. Let's hope it's not like a ACL. Oh God, I'm terrified to even look. Oh, come on, buddy. Day to day or something. Oh, strained hamstring, 12 days. Woo! He's fine. He can keep playing. We might drop a game or 2 here over the next couple of weeks, but his knees are intact. His bones are intact. He'll be all right. That would have certainly been a big-time dent in the armor had it been for the year, had it been long-term. Short-term, we can survive. We're going to go into Pittsburgh a little bit short-handed here. Anything that happens while Joey Shannon is out, I'm going to completely and utterly disregard. I don't care what happens, so if we lose, we win, whatever. Foley, I never spend 5 hours on recruiting. If you've watched any of the streams, I can usually burn through the recruiting in about 25 to 30 minutes. And, you can see the results of what I'm doing. So you can make it work relatively quickly. You don't have to go 5 hours in. Now, if... I know there are ways to automate it if you want some help. And you would just have to look at the settings for that because I've never done it. What I would recommend, if you're just looking for quick ways to do recruiting, go back and watch any of my streams that I've done recruiting because... for the past month or 2, I've been burning through recruiting sessions in about 30 minutes because I can get through an entire recruiting session and sim an entire season, and all told, I'm looking at about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. I know that because I got to keep my streams on point for my wife and kids and all that so I can get back up to the family in a reasonable amount of time. So I keep a close watch on it. We're about 45 minutes into this stream. I could be about 5 to 8 minutes further ahead than what I am. But, we're taking it easy here tonight because we didn't have to do the recruiting. Although we will have to do a little bit here once we get to the conference play, once we get to the conference tournament, just because we did miss out on some of the early commits, and we're still recruiting. We still got 3 offers out. But yeah, the first thing that I would recommend that you do, I'm sure get better. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that the videos help buy it. That was the main thing. That's the reason I started doing these videos, is to spread the word about these games because they're awesome, they're fun, and if you're into this, they're so cool to me. But the first thing to cut down on the amount of time that you spend recruiting, my first piece of advice would be to you don't have to spend all of your phone calls every week. You get however much time for phone calls. Identify your targets, unlock their pitch areas. If you want to identify some backups, unlock their pitch areas, but don't sit there on the phone and call and they hang up on you and all that back and forth nonsense. Unlock the pitch areas on the guys that you want to know their pitch areas and then just lay off of it. Recruiting is a huge part of the game, but it doesn't have to be 5 hours. It's a huge part of the game. It's an important part of the game, but it doesn't have to take up your entire life. There's definitely ways to get through it quickly. And I mean, you can see it. I put this entire team together quickly. I put my last couple of teams together pretty quickly. So I'm pretty sure I started doing recruiting, and I was breaking up, like doing recruiting one stream and then a season the next stream, but I figured out how to get it done a little bit faster. And I've been doing recruiting and the season, I think, ever since I got to Auburn. And now we're in our 4th season with Louisville. So the Hokies and the Cardinals, oh my God. Woo! That was a what, 49-point win? My word. What was it? Is that a George Takai meme? Oh my. That was a beatdown, folks. Woo! I guess Michigan State doesn't have to be quite so embarrassed about their 38-point output against us earlier in the year. At least they held us to 60-something. Virginia Tech only scored 39, and they gave us 88. So now we're headed into NC State, the Wolfpack, not having a great year. And we make them pay for it. Oh, really? You know, I've seen a lot of people ask about timing on when to offer a scholarship, and I've never found it to be a huge difference maker to me. Like, once I've identified a guy that I want, I just offer him. I don't worry about what time it is. It has to be no later than September 4th. But other than that, I just offer it as soon as I've identified a target. Like, once they're highly rated, they've done well in a camp, I can get far enough along that I know they don't have any of these negative attitude attributes. You know, they're not grumpy, they're not lazy. Once I get past all of that, I just make the offer. And I don't really worry about the timing too much. To me, the earlier I can identify a target, the better, because like I said, I just unlock those pitch areas, and then it's that much quicker I can get through recruiting. So I don't play around with it. I don't try to make a game out of it. I try to find the best players, you know, the best players for my program, and then I just go after them and leave everybody else alone. And in a year like this where I lose out on a couple of them, yeah, it can burn me a little bit, because I really only had like one player and one backup. But more often than not, this is not the case. And even in a year like this, I mean, I'm talking about it like it's some kind of huge disappointment. I landed 2 of the best 10 players in the country. So, you got the Syracuse Orange coming into the Yum, being dispatched easily, 23. We're just making it look easy this year. It's rare for me to be on the fence. It really is. I look at the rating, I look at the camp performances. To me, camp performances kind of trump everything else. But if the camp performance is, you know, relatively equal, then I'm going to come back. I'm going to take a look at the stats. I've got statistics at each position that I would favor over others. Like, obviously, a point guard, you want assists. The inside guys, you're looking for rebounds and guys that are getting double-doubles. And if the camp performances and the statistics and the scouting evaluations are all relatively equal, scouting ratings rather, then I'll go over to the actual individual abilities and look for what I want at each position. Like, I always will prefer defense over everything else. And then for inside players, I'm going to look for rebounding and inside scoring. And for outside players, especially guards, passing and handling, and small forwards, defense, athleticism, steals, that sort of thing. So, and maybe some outside shooting. Oh, we have a decision. Shane Henderson, a point guard out of, I believe, California, is going to go to Washington. Son of a gun. So let's see if Greenleaf is still around. He is. So we're going to remove Shane Henderson from the list and get that offer out to Greenleaf. Get him in here. Let's get these guys scouted live. See if we can host them. Nope. Can we host you? Anybody? Anybody at all want to come? Bobby Howard's going to come for a second. Double dipping here on the visits. All right, so we've offered Greenleaf. We'll see. I would really love to pull 2 or 3 of those guys. If we don't, it's not the end of the world, but it is going to put us in a hole because that would have us rolling over 4 scholarships, and at that point, we do have to look at maybe bringing in some transfers, which I'm very, very strongly against because I don't feel like I get a very good feel for him, a good evaluation, because Chris really has a good feel for the transfers. I do not. Well, it can happen because of the players that we're going after. They're wanting playing time, and when you look at this roster, they're not seeing that playing time. And to be honest, let me simulate about 10 or 11 more days here, and then I'll circle back around to that point. Oh, we got another decision out of Bobby Howard. Bobby Howard is going to come, so I believe that's the small forward, right? It is. So, at the very least, we know for a fact that Chris Wright is going to graduate after this year. We've got D'Antonio White and Brett something. Either one of those could go pro. So, to bring in a small forward that we feel good about is definitely, at the very least, an insurance policy. If not, could turn into an absolute necessity. All right, the Cards and the Cavaliers, once again, this time at Virginia. And we pull off a nice win on the road. Very nice. And at this point, we're 26-2, 15-1 in conference. And the big thing, Joey Shannon ought to be healthy again. Yeah, Lord Clem, I always like to hear that people are learning from the streams. I always hope that people can pick up something from it. And, as always, if you got questions or whatever, hit me on Discord or questions on YouTube or whatever. But sometimes, to me, I learn to play other games just watching other people do it. So hopefully people can do that here. Now, we've got an opportunity at some payback here in a huge game against Florida State. We lost at their place by about 10. Let's see if Joey Shannon's healthy. He is. So Joey Shannon is healthy. We are full strength. So this is the game of the year on a Wednesday night, a cold February 22nd Wednesday night in 2043. The Florida State Seminoles and the Louisville Cardinals are going to do battle in downtown Louisville in the Yum Center for ACC supremacy. You already know it. Look at that. 17 points. Take a quick gander here at the standings. Oh, yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina is deep in ACC country. Get your UNC, Duke, NC State, all that good stuff out there. So, we are a half game. Oh, no. We're a full game up on Florida State. They would hold a tiebreaker. But if we win our next game, we'll take home the regular season ACC championship. So let's get this done. Let's stay healthy, and let's get into the postseason. All right, so we do have Clemson. That's a relatively decent team. They're a little bit underachieving in the ACC. So if we're as good as I think we are, we'll take care of them at home. No, we're all going to be robots or something by 2043. And there we go, 23-point win. Big time output from all the usual suspects. Billy Guy still hates me. Whatever. Just kick this dude off the team. I ought to. Let's push on ahead. I'm not sure if this is an 18 or a 20 game schedule. It might be 20. Might have 2 more conference games to go. but we are certainly putting in work this year. So, man, it's a shame that we lost the guards that we did. Could you imagine having all of that extra depth? All right, so yeah, still a little bit of regular season ACC to be played. We're going to go into Virginia Tech here, I believe. So the Hokies not having a great year. You're already retired, Lord Clemmel. Good to hear. Hopefully the robots will come fast. That's correct. The Cardinals and the... Oh, my word. 37 points. That's a beatdown. That is a beatdown. So with one ACC game left, a win here gets us to 30 wins on the season. Gets us an ACC regular season championship. Excuse me there. Get a little bit of a extra streamer fuel here. All right, this was break glass in case of emergency situation. So, wrapping up the regular season, the number 1 Louisville Cardinals headed down to play the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Can we get to 30 in the regular season? This was a heck of a team, guys. To lose all of the guards that we lost, to still do this is kind of crazy, to be honest. So let's get it here and finish out strong. Woo! A little bit of a scare there, as much as an 8-point game can be a scare, but 8 points, we close it out on the road, and we take home the ACC regular season championship. 30-2 overall, 19-1 in the regular season. Both losses on the road to top 10 teams. So very, very understandable. And now tomorrow is a big game. Not a big game. Tomorrow's a big day in the stream. So I'm sure anybody that's played for a while knows exactly why. Sorry. It's when we get this next round of mail, either Sunday or Monday. All right. So this is the first big moment of many moments that are going to be coming up over the last little bit of this stream, because we've got not only Chris Wright named as a finalist for the Norton, he snuck in at number 10, along with Kareem Quarles, a guy that I believe we recruited at Auburn. But we got our players declaring for the draft. So let's take a quick look at the players that we need to be concerned about, which is basically everybody. Lamont Mapp, Joey Shannon, Brett Porter, D'Antonio White, John Carter. Those are probably the 5 that may go. And it could be none, it could be all. Last year it was basically all. We lost pretty much everything. To do that back-to-back years would hurt. But let's see what's going on. Now, this is what I was going to say earlier. I said I was going to circle back around to this, Breeze. Breeze was saying, imagine nobody wanting to come to a team that dominated during the regular season. The only reason I could see that is if some players were sticking around. So, if players are sticking around, I totally understand why nobody wants. Like, if we're losing Joey Shannon and Lamont Mapp and we're bringing in those 2 top 10 guards and everybody else stays, that would make sense to me. But you never know. Let's see who's declaring. Cross your fingers, cross your toes for me. This is big for next year. Oh my God, nobody left. Oh my word. Nobody left. That's why we had a tough time recruiting. They knew they're sticking around. Holy crap. Oh my word. Nobody left. So that means John Carter is coming back. D'Antonio White is coming back. Brett Porter coming back. Joey Shannon and Lamont Mapp both coming back. Oh my goodness. If you guys thought this season was just steamrolling the competition, whatever happens next time, whatever happens on the next stream is like, whoa, wow. Wow. I'm super pumped. I have no words. I don't even know what to say to that. Nobody left. At least one of the guards had to have left, right? Like, even Joey Shannon's coming back? Are you kidding me? So, the two guards that we're bringing in, they're two of the top 10 players in the nation. And at least one of them will not start. The only way that one of them starts is if we bench a starter off the team that just went 30-2. And by the way, it's not going to be Joey Shannon. So you're looking at Lamont Mapp, who, by the way, was also a 5-star guard, at least top. Let's see what Lamont Mapp was. He was ranked number 23. Okay, so he was only ranked number 23. Look at this, 12 points a game, 3.8 assists. Next year, we are going to have trouble finding playing time for all these guys. Because the one thing Mapp's not great at is creating plays, you know, that assist-to-turnover ratio. And bringing in a guy like, I think Bond is the point guard that we're bringing in. It'll be a decision for sure. So that's really exciting to look forward to next year. Again, you never know. We could still have people transfer out. But as of now, it looks like the route's on. Looks like everybody's in deep shit, to be quite honest. Here we go into ACC postseason action. We're going to open it up here against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. 82-65, Joey Shannon, Chris Wright doing their thing. So now, look at this. The semifinals of the ACC. It's all top 10. We got 4 of the top 10 teams in the nation here playing in ACC postseason basketball, baby. Yeah, there is some pressure, but at the same time, anything can happen in the NCAA tournament. Good teams make the Elite Eight. Period. Good teams should make the Elite Eight. But beyond that, anything can happen. A great team can lose there. An average team, not an average team, but not excellent team can win the championship. It's happened. But, we've got every bit as much of a shot as anyone else. Let's leave it at that. Syracuse and Louisville, semifinals of the ACC. The winner moves on to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the ACC championship game. Who will it be? It's your boy Cards. The Louisville Cardinals, Chris Wright, Lamont Mapp, and Antonio White. That extra time for White, I'm telling you, is paying off. It's just getting a guy like whoever that point guard that we pulled off the floor. It's taking an average player off the floor and putting an excellent player on the floor for an additional 4 minutes a game. I think it's a good move. Let's simulate whatever else is going on in the country. And now we've got Notre Dame and Louisville, the 1 seed facing the 5 overall in the country. This is probably is this a 1-2 seed in the ACC? 1-3. So the 1 seed and the 3 seed in the ACC, but still 2 of the top 5 teams in the country on a neutral court. And the Cardinals take it 17 points. Not even a ball game. Let's see what that box score looks like. My word. Brett Porter and Joey Shannon, both over 20. Brett Porter with the double-double. Spent all day on the free throw line. And we got a little bit lucky here. Louisville went 2 for 15 from the three-point line and still won this game by 17. 2 for 15. That's some putrid shooting. Joey Shannon went 0 for 5. Chris Wright 0 for 3. Made up for it on the free throw line, certainly. Chris Wright ended up fouling out, didn't play a lot. John Carter didn't play a lot. in foul trouble the whole time. Got more minutes out of Chris Marshall. He put in 8 points in 11 minutes. That's nice. Would have liked to seen a little bit more on the boards out of him. But another ACC championship for the Louisville Cardinals. I cannot believe it. Especially Brett Porter is so solid. I can't believe that dude's coming back. Brett Porter may be ACC Freshman of the Year. Let's check out this selection show here. I don't think it's any exaggeration whatsoever to say that the Louisville Cardinals should be favored to be the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. So let's take a look. Come on. Alright, so here are your playing games. And yes, number 1 overall seed in the tournament, the Louisville Cardinals play the winner of a play-in game. Florida State is the 2 seed in the Charlotte region. Arizona the 3, Auburn the 4. So could be a very interesting Sweet 16 matchup against the Auburn Tigers and the Louisville Cardinals if both teams advance to that point. St. Mary's, UNLV, Virginia. All right, in Chicago, VCU, undefeated VCU, a 1 seed. Stanford a 2, Kansas State, Seton Hall rounded out. There's Sparty with the 5 seed. Notre Dame with the 1 in New Orleans, Minnesota, Syracuse, and Butler. So you can see ACC teams all over these top 4 seed lines. And here's Villanova, Oregon, Tulane, and UCLA. So 3 out of the last 4 teams I've coached are all in the top 3 seed lines. So, yeah, that was, I did notice that as I was saying it, Lord Clamel, Notre Dame did not shoot well from 3 either. So, but 5 of 19 is, a little bit better than 25%. So not good, but not awful. Like, we shot awful, so we got extremely lucky. Shoot, did I miss in-home visits? I think I did. No, wait. March 19th. Next week. All right, so March 19th, the in-home visits start. So we got to keep an eye on that. We should be able to cruise through this first 2 rounds, to be quite honest. And the first round should be a walk in the park, but the second round, if we have trouble there, then we're going to have trouble long term. Was that my Florida A&M Rattlers? The Rattlers? Well, Florida A&M in your NCAA tournament, or was that one of the other tournaments maybe? Anyway, the Louisville Cardinals playing James Madison in the first round, the 1 seed versus the 16. They call themselves the Dukes. They don't play like Duke. 24-point loss. We easily move on into the second round, where we're going to take on the winner of an 8-9 game. So that's going to be the Providence Flyers. So they're 21-3 on the season. Whew. 20 points. 20 points. We're doing work still. Map, Wright, Porter. Look at Porter. Some of these guys that we got going for us are just so daggone good. Really like this team. Great players on the wings. So let's jump over here real quick on recruiting, because we do have a little bit of an in-home visit period here. We've got a 1, 2, 3. We need another point guard, because what we're looking for here is some depth at point guard and somebody that'll stick around. I think Greenleaf is that. Let's dial them up, unlock these pitch areas, and get a visit in real quick. All right, so he's big into academics and location in Idaho. Conference prestige. Yeah, let's go conference prestige. And for Cliff Barron. Texas Tech grad. Yeah, I'll check you out in just one sec. Let me get my visit set up with Cliff Barron. We're giving him location for show. All right, so let's go take a look real quick at the Big 12 standings and see where Texas Tech comes in. 6-12 in conference, 11-19 overall. So no, not relevant right now. That's probably not a postseason tournament team whatsoever at this point. You're going to need pretty much a 500 record to start pushing for like the CBI, the CTI, whatever those are. Later, Lord Clamel, buddy. Glad you stayed with us as long as you did. And oh man, I can't believe you're leaving. We got 4 games to go. 4 games to hang a banner, and you're out. Whew, you might be. Listen, Lord Clamel, if we lose, I'm blaming it on you. I will. You might be the good luck charm. We can't change anything when we're on a roll like this. Absolutely nothing. If nothing else, just leave the computer on. Let me stream to nobody at your house. All right, we're closing in here on the Sweet 16. And it is, oh my word, my former team versus my current team. What a matchup in the Sweet 16. The Auburn Tigers and the Louisville Cardinals. Oh, my word. Oh. I mean, you might be done here. Right here, Lord Clamel. Auburn Tigers, I built them for the future. They're very, very capable of knocking me out right here. As you see, the Virginia Cavaliers did slip by Florida State there in other Sweet 16 action. So, the Tigers and the Cardinals, woo! Put it on them, baby! C-A-R-D-S, Cards! The Cardinals moving on to the Elite Eight for the 3rd year in a row. We got past the Auburn Tigers, and now we face the Virginia Cavaliers. Oh, baby. Can we make the Final Four? Can we make the Final Four? Yes! Yes, sir! 26 points on the way to the Final Four. And your Louisville Cardinals, L's up. We're headed to the Final Four. We're marching. We are marching. Let's get these other... Oh, Tulane fell. All my former teams doing their thing. Let's check out this inbox. I got a feeling we got some recruit news. Cliff Barron coming to the Ville, baby. So Greenleaf is the only one we still got to worry about. And what's our next visit date there? April 9th. All right, so it'll be after this is over. So, folks, let's take a look at the brackets here. As always, going to walk you through the NCAA tournament here. Obviously, in the Charlotte region, we got Louisville and Auburn. You know what happened there? Florida State and Virginia upset them. Look at the bottom half of that. Bradley upset Arizona in the very first round, and then Virginia slides on by, and then they upset Florida State, but they couldn't get past the Ville. Louisville headed to the Final Four. In Chicago, VCU, Seton Hall, Rhode Island, and Michigan. So again, 10 and 11 seeds making noise. But once again, the 1 seed stands tall, and the VCU Rams are going to be in the Final Four in New Orleans. Notre Dame came out and gets upset by the Georgetown Hoyas, who get stopped by the Sooners of Oklahoma. And then Oklahoma falls to the 3 seed Syracuse. So Syracuse is your second ACC team into the Final Four. And in Albuquerque, it's Villanova over Tulane. Villanova over UC. Tulane over Furman. Look at Furman. Furman upsetting Oregon in the first round. Then they beat Tennessee in the second round. So the 15 seed advances all the way out to the, that's the Sweet 16, right? They lose in the Sweet 16 to Tulane, and then Tulane falls in the Elite Eight to Villanova. So your finals, Louisville versus VCU, Syracuse versus Villanova, 1-1-1-3. Whew. Whew. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep your toes crossed. Whatever you've got. I don't have any hair left, but if I had it, I'd keep it crossed right now. Oh. Big games now. Big games now. VCU's good. Villanova. I know Syracuse is good. I know Villanova. Man, oh man. Can we hang that banner for the first time in the GM game stream? I'm not sure if this is our first Final Four appearance. I know we haven't been in a championship game, though. Let's see who wins the other one first. Villanova, Syracuse. That's going to be Syracuse. All right, baby, here we go. The undefeated VCU Rams versus the Louisville Cardinals. 1 seed and 1 seed. This is a battle. To me, actually, I think this is probably the championship game. I think whoever wins this wins it. Let's do it. The Cards and the Rams, baby. Final Four action. No! No! You're kidding me. VCU wins by 8. No way. VCU wins by 8. And they win by 5. So I was right in that whoever won that game was winning the championship. But I really don't care for losing at all there. We definitely had a chance, but we made the Final Four. We made the Final Four with an extremely depleted backcourt. Had we had a little bit there, that would have helped, to be honest. Oh, my word. That hurt. That hurt my soul. It really did. Look at Chris Wright, second-team All-American. That's good to see. And Kareem Quarles, the Auburn guy that we recruited up there in the All-American rank. So also still good to see. Let's check out the ACC. So the second team, Brett Porter, John Carter, both there. On the first team, Joey Shannon and Chris Wright both showing up. So 4 of our 5 starters are all conference. Individual awards, Chris Wright, the Defensive Player of the Year. And somehow this idiot from Notre Dame beat me out for Coach of the Year. It seems rigged, but yeah. Later, Lord Clamwell. Thanks for sticking around, trying to be the good luck charm. I appreciate that. I guess I have nobody to blame except myself now. Tried to make you the scapegoat, and it did not work out. But yeah, VCU's beat me 2 times now, so they've got it going on over there. Virginia Commonwealth. Man, that's frustrating. The good news is, we're bringing most of this team back and adding in 2 of the top 10 recruits out of next year. So VCU better hope that they're reloading, because we certainly are, and we're ready to continue this battle right on into next year. And what is happening now? I would like to move to the off-season. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not sure why it's hanging on the award screen. Try a couple keyboard commands here. The legacy of Shaka Smart. Yeah, maybe. I think that the game might have just blocked me. It might have said, you know what? The team you're bringing back is too powerful. You cannot progress. I have no idea what's happening here. But it appears that I've hit a hitch, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream here. Normally, I would have liked to get through the end of the year, through the rest of the recruiting here for you, and probably into next year to see what that team looks like. But technical issues are going to cut us off right here. So, guys, thanks for staying with me. I'm kind of devastated. I thought that team had a really legit shot. Yeah, I'm pretty devastated, to be honest. But, we're going to call it right here. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me. 24, 25 seasons, however many it's been at this point. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you got any questions or comments or whatever, Discord, YouTube, all the usual suspects. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all next time.